welcome back to Tech Ascent. Today, we're joined by a fantastic guest. We're joined by Rue Phillips, the co-founder and president at SkillFusion. Rue, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Oliver. Good to be here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on. Would you mind just kicking us off, telling us a little about yourself and what you guys do at SkillFusion?
Yeah, so I'm an old eccentric entrepreneur, specifically in the renewable energy space. I started. Well, let me give you like the quick 3 mile overview. I started in a family electric business in the UK when I was a kid. Learned all the electricals and electronics and such. Didn't want to do that, so I got into music. Started playing violin. Went from violin to guitar, grew some hair, jumped on an airplane and went to Hollywood. So I was a professional recording artist and songwriter for a few years. I decided to get off that crazy train. There's a story behind that later. But got off that course, and rather than I was like, what am I going to do now? Well, electrical. So I formed a company in Los Angeles, and I had experience in the UK from my uncle's business doing electric vehicles. So we started. I started the company, and we were installing electric vehicle chargers in 1994 in California. That was when the zero emission, the ZEV mandate. Built that company up, sold that company, morphed into solar, did a lot of big installations for BP and Chevron. And then I formed a company called True South Renewables, and we became the largest in the United States, doing service and maintenance on solar systems. Sold that company. Then I formed another one called 365 Pronto, which was a Uber-like technicians, if you like, on call. Built that company and that sold that company and formed my latest company with my partner, Elena Farnsworth, and a SkillFusion, where we're bringing people through different skill sets in different trades, getting them ready for work and putting them in a Uber-like dispatch manner. And we've got some exciting stuff with tech specs where the technicians will actually be working on hands-free, if you like, and the engineers, the other side of the world, will be able to give them instructions of exactly what they're doing through our platform. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, very cool. And you've got a very unique background, Rue. And as you found SkillFusion, you've obviously built companies in a similar space, but what made you want to kick this one off? What gap did you identify in the market?
There was actually there was a shortage of labor, from my previous companies. We just could not get talent. The electrical trades, the carpenters, the mechanics, and everybody wanted an MBA and be a computer IT tech. The kids in the schools, they just didn't want to get their hands dirty. So there was a shortage of labor. And I looked at that and I thought, well, there's an opportunity there for both the individuals and to bring them through and train them and give them a trade, and while they're learning, they can actually be earning money as well. So that was the vision of the company, is to form an Uber-like work-ready platform for anyone with different types of skill sets, and we can train them along the process to before they give a service ticket.
Nice. And how long ago did you guys kick this one off?
This one's been 2 years. So we're developing the software right now. We're doing a pilot in 5 states. That will be Hawaii, California, Texas, Michigan, and New York. So we're going to have the pilot's going to have 50 technicians. A few of those technicians are going to have the tech specs that I discussed, and that's going to be in April time.
Sure. And over the last 2 years, you've obviously built companies previous to this one. What makes this one different? What lessons have you learned in the past that you've used in this one? How's the landscape changed? What's been so, share some insights onto the journey of skill fusion is the
So
ultimate question.
yeah, so I've pretty much always been involved with the renewable space, with solar, electric vehicles, battery energy storage. So it was just in my DNA to do something. And the companies I've formed previously, like I say, they relied heavily on software and IT. And I thought, wow, why not? The kids are familiar with modern electronic devices. They're you know, computer savvy. Why not bring them through and get them ready? Teach the old electricians, if you like, new tricks on how to come into this new sector, this new market which is available. The cyber, the cyber market. It was. I told you there was a shortage of labor, Oliver. There wasn't a shortage of electricians. I mean, literally, there were like 800,000 electricians in the United States. Why do we have a shortage? Well, basically, what they were old school. They're screwdrivers and the hammers and whatever. So, what I saw an opportunity with Elena is to bring them through and bring them into the cyber community. So that was it was a massive market opportunity, a hole that I saw, and I wanted to be a part of it, and I still do. I'm excited about it.
Hmm. Very cool. And Rue, you mentioned you have sold a company in the past. Are you building Skill Fusion to sell? What's the mindset behind it? What's the vision?
From from the investor's point of view, they always want to see an exit strategy. Typically somewhere along the line, some giant multi-billion-dollar organization sees value. Is it buy or build? Do they buy a company or do they build it? Depending on how far ahead that we are. We do have an exit strategy, absolutely. But moreover, it's got to be fun along the way for all the employees that work for us. And what we want to do is create a value so that everyone in the team wins at the end, and having fun along the way also.
That's the name of the game. And
Yes, yes, indeed.
as you're building a company, if there's somebody out there right now building a company of their own, they're not sure if they want to build to sell, if they want to just scale profitability, turn into a cash flowing business, what tips would you give them from somebody that's been through the process of selling a business? Is there anything they can start to act on now?
You know what I was taught? It was a little unconventional. Is that with the companies that be you can't see the plaques behind me. Maybe I can. There you go. So it's like the companies that I've built. That was the fastest growing company in Orange County, California. Orange County is like real hot place for business. So rapid growth, scalability. Build your product and your business to be scalable anywhere. It's got to be able to cater for a mass market really quickly, rapidly. So the second thing that I would advise on is get yourself ready for an acquisition from day one. Make sure your books, you have a data room so that if somewhere along the line someone comes and says, "Hey, I'm really interested," then you have the opportunity. You can invite them in. I've seen a lot of companies like to act like mom and pop. You get the CEOs, the presidents, they control the whole organization. And basically without them, there is no company. The company has to run without you. Even though you may have formed it and it's your baby, you have to be able to step back and that machine keeps working and can be scalable and grow and be appealing to an investor or acquisition partner.
Hmm. I like that. And Rue, being a co-founder and president yourself, how do you go about building a company culture that everybody in the organization keeps things moving forward, whether you're there or not, especially on the global scale? I know your team is spread across the world. How do you go about kind of navigating that?
Well, first off, what we have to do is to get the buy-in from each individual with the mission and the vision. If they're only showing up for a paycheck, it's not the place to be for us. It's not the kind of person that we'd be looking for. What we're looking for is someone that sees the big picture. What we just had our Christmas party, and we gave out gifts, and it was the moon, and right around the moon there was a satellite, and we're saying, and it was a nice little crystal, and we said, this is where we're going. This is where you are going. We're going to shoot for the moon. And if we miss the moon, we're going to hit a satellite. And you're on that rocket with us. We're all together in this. It's like so yeah, so get participation from every one of the team, most important, but a buy-in to the vision and the mission.
Yeah, great insights. And that's one piece of the puzzle. The other piece of the puzzle is finding good people that you know will buy into the mission. Obviously, you've got lots of experience in your days of hiring people, probably firing people as well. Is there anything you look for when you're looking to expand your team?
When we first speak to them that on the interviews, I usually say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Obviously, and I look for that spark in the right. That you can usually see it. It's just like this hidden gem where you can see someone is, and I know they're always nervous on the interviews and whatever, but you can tell there's an aura about someone that wants to go somewhere, and the most important part is finding that, is looking for that gem in a person, an individual, and growing it, nurturing it, bringing them on board. So, and then obviously the normal team players, they have to be a team player. We don't want prima donnas. I've actually worked with some really, really smart people. In fact, I always say I always hire people smarter than myself. Try and hire people smarter than myself.
Hmm.
Because what's the point? Elon Musk must do the same. He doesn't build rocket ships. He professes that he's a rocket science or whatever, but he hires smart people smarter than himself. I've been fortunate that I've been able to do that. I'm not saying I'm the thickest one in in the team, but I like to hire smart people with a drive.
Hmm. And I think that's a great approach is get people in the door you know can do the job and then just get out the way. Let them take care of business.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. Yes. Also, allow them to make mistakes, Oliver. Seriously, they're allowed to make mistakes. Obviously not real expensive ones, but yes.
Yeah. Be lenient. Be lenient. And I think that comes with being a good leader. So I come from a
Mm,
background in sports, played basketball my whole life, even played in the UK, went to Newcastle for a bit. Nobody on the court's going to be perfect. Everybody's going to turn the ball over, miss a shot. You just got to roll with the punches, and the game's going to continue regardless.
absolutely. You're right. You're absolutely right. Again, I can't emphasize enough how often that you have to bring everybody together and check in with the mission and the vision, because sometimes it changes. It'll have you'll set a goal with the company and it'll go over here. It might be a different product that takes off that you never thought it wasn't a priority, but all of a sudden people are focusing and they're buying that product. Well, it's important to occasionally periodically to bring the team and say, okay, guys, we've changed course a little bit. We're over here. Are you still in? Are you still in on this? Yeah, it's important to do that.
Hmm. And speaking of that, Rue, looking forward, we're going into 2026 here very shortly. What's the vision for SkillFusion?
I want SkillFusion to be the first in the industry, the first in the United States to implement the smart technologies, AI, implement AI into trades where they've been stuck. They've been stuck for decades. And what I want to do is to be one of the first company that people would say, wow, SkillFusion's using technicians in the field with AI glasses to fix the electronic with EV chargers, solar PV systems, communication systems. There's a company called SkillFusion out there that's getting the service tickets right first time. They're doing it cheaper. So yeah, my vision for the company and do it scalability. We can our services they can do any language. I mean, the glasses can literally communicate with someone in a different language while you're working on a product. It's pretty amazing. AI is just incredible. What we have to do is grab it. There's a fear, Oliver, that AI is going to be taking a lot of workers. You must have heard it.
Of course.
And I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to use AI to bring in the workforce and utilize it.
It's a great mission. And you've obviously got the resume to back it up. You've been in this space for quite some time. Rue, as you're building Skill Fusion, if there was one lesson you'd really like to emphasize that you've learned in your career that you're taking in the Skill Fusion to make it the number one in the United States, what's that one lesson and what piece of advice would you give other entrepreneurs out there?
Failure. That horrible word called failure. Don't be afraid of it. It's going to happen. It will happen along the way. And the idea is to get up, brush yourself off. Try not to put yourself in a situation, whatever job or product that you're doing, that if that job or product goes down the toilet, it sinks the ship. Have a plan beyond the one that you're working with, beyond the vision and the mission of that. Have a plan B, because if it goes down a hill or down a hole, you've got something to pick you back up with. So I really think it's important. Failure, prepare for it. Don't be scared of it, and get past it.
I like it. I like it. And the big thing I take from that is every time you do fail, learn the lesson, iterate, and then continue to find that success later down the road.
Absolutely. 100%, Oliver. Yes.
Awesome. And Rue, before we wrap up, you had mentioned a little earlier about your career as a musician, and we had talked about this on a previous call. I don't want to let it go without highlighting at least once. Can you tell the audience a little bit about your background as a musician?
Yeah, so I told you I didn't want to be an electrician with the family business, so I came to the United States, and we had a little mini tour of Hollywood circuit, and I was in I think it was either the Roxy or the Whiskey, and one of the members from Black Sabbath was there, and he said he's making an album, an all-star album. Well, I wasn't a star. I was playing in the little clubs in Hollywood. But he's making an all-star album, and I'd like you to come and audition and help me write the album, and you can play guitar on the album. So I did, pass the audition, and for 2 years I was in the studio helping write songs. And Ozzy Osbourne, I played guitar and co-wrote that song. Jack Bruce from Cream, bass player from Deep Purple, and Gary Moore, and I was just so proud of my career just went. I signed $1 million record contract because I co-wrote with all these stars. So I had my own contract at that point then as well. So I toured. I formed a band with the Sons of Cream, Jack Bruce's son and Ginger Baker's son. Went on the road, toured the whole East Coast. I did a total about 5 albums, and I checked all the boxes, Oliver. I worked with the Queen producer, Reinhold Mack. And I was in the studio. I remember really, really well. And I was in the recording studio with Reinhold Mack, the Queen producer. His last thing was The Day at the Races or something like that. The Night at the Operas, anyway. Big hits, all big hits. And he's in the control room, and I'm in the vocal booth. And I said, I can't do this anymore. I uh, I I I can't do it anymore. I've checked all my boxes and whatever, and it's like it's time for me to move on.
Hmm.
And I did, and I closed the door in the music business, and decided that I wanted to be an American, and I stayed here 39 years, and I'm proud to say it.
Yeah, very cool. I know you know my background a little bit. Born in the
Yes,
UK, not too far away from where you're at now, and then moved to the United States as well. So two two Brits turned American.
absolutely, yes.
Awesome. Well, Rue, it's a super unique story you have, and I've really enjoyed diving into it with you. Everything from growing up with a family business to being a musician to being a successful entrepreneur now. You've checked a lot of boxes throughout your journey, and it was great kind of exploring it.
Great. Well, it's great to be here, Oliver. Yes, I wish you success with the show. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas wherever you are.
I appreciate it. And for everybody listening, I'll be sure to tag Rue's LinkedIn down in the description. I'll tag SkillFusion's website so you can go check out both of those. But thank you for tuning in. If you've listened this far, be sure to like and subscribe. And Rue, one last thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Oliver. Take care.